Arizona Sunshine 2 is a sequel to Arizona Sunshine 1. Who would have thought, right? The game left me with mixed feelings. On one hand, I can praise the game because developers were able to recreate that adventurous feeling that the previous game had. Despite how basic the gameplay is, there was always something new happening throughout the whole game which motivated me to move forward purely out of curiosity. On the other hand, it's so much like the previous game that it feels like a copy-paste of the same basic things into a new environment. It has not evolved enough to justify that 7 years gap between the games. In this video, without spoilers, I will tell you about the plot, game world design, progression, combat, and how these things have changed in the new game, or in some cases, remained the same. Arizona Sunshine 2 for plot purposes follows the same formula as previously. A guy is stuck in a desert surrounded by zombies, has no one to talk to, he slowly goes insane and is ready to do anything to find civilization, no matter how dangerous it is or how slim the odds are.
Holy shit! Hey! Hey! Over here!
But this time it's not so bleak, as you will be accompanied by a dog. Additionally, there is still a multiplayer option. You can invite your friend into co-op gameplay, though you will still have just one dog anyway. Unless that friend of yours is a dog, then you'll have two dogs. Just like in AZ1, the adventure begins when the protagonist gets an opportunity to find other survivors and starts his dangerous journey into the unknown. It was very noticeable that the storyline became more prominent in this game. There are many more plot twists, you will learn a few story-related things along your way. From simply seeking the source of a radio message, it became getting directions from someone that talked through the radio to the player. But despite that, the game still has the feeling of loneliness. The main character doesn't have anyone to talk to except the dog or zombies, which as it turns out are not the best at keeping the conversations. But it doesn't mean that the protagonist just walks silently all the time. The subtitle setting is here for a reason. The game has plenty of monologues, short remarks, and observations. Some of them serve practical purposes. They are here to guide the player in an immersive way. Such comments might be pointing in the right direction or telling you what items you need to proceed further.
Why the hell did I lock this? Where did I put the key?
While other comments are purely for storytelling purposes. The character is often telling his thoughts, expectations, and fears, so the player can get the idea of who that person is, how he thinks, or what is his mental state. Which, spoiler alert, is not the best.
Doing this with you, buddy, it really makes a guy feel almost not insane.
Apparently, being stuck in a desert with hordes of zombies is quite upsetting. The player can feel that the character is constantly raising his spirits with sarcastic jokes, or at least trying to switch the attention away from his problems.
Now, I've seen some crazy shit in my time, buddy, but those gas prices are downright psychotic.
The game world is designed to be experienced by completing each map in order. During the playthrough, you will visit many areas that you have to complete one by one, with nowhere to diverge from the main path. Which might sound disappointing because you don't have much freedom to do things your way, but at the same time each level is a tiny little adventure with their own challenges, designed to be as different as possible. Sewers, sunny desert, dark night, army bases, and so on. I think level design has noticeably improved. The gameplay also became more diverse. There are new things you can use. Now there is a very basic crafting system where you can create some throwable items from resources you can find lying around. There are some melee weapons that are not very satisfying, to be honest, but it's nice to have more options to defeat zombies, especially the ones that don't use bullets. The dog can probably also count as an additional gameplay element. It identifies nearest zombies, can help in combat, and in some cases the teamwork with the pet is necessary to proceed further. And in addition to 2 handguns by your side, in AZ2 you can also carry a 2-handed rifle, shotgun, or even a grenade launcher behind your back. In general, fighting zombies was already quite fun in AZ1, so in AZ2 it was even more enjoyable, despite the fact that the game still remains quite simple zombie headshot simulator. But there is one thing that remains disappointing in both games. It's character's progression. There is no progression. The only way to become stronger is finding a weapon that has a bigger magazine capacity so you don't have to reload so often, or filling your inventory with a maximum amount of bullets, which technically makes the character stronger than when you don't have enough bullets, but from today's games I would expect to be able to improve my weapons with attachments, learning a skill, or at least some basic things such as increasing maximum health points or ammo carrying capacity. The storyline of AZ2 was enjoyable, but not in a traditional way. There were no NPCs to build relationships with and almost no dialogue, so I didn't really care what happens to others. The story in this game is more about the feeling of being left alone with countless zombies and trying to push away bad thoughts with sarcastic observations. Might not be for everyone, but I liked it enough to rate the storyline 5 out of 10. The gameplay could be better. It definitely feels like the game is stuck in the past. It has only the most basic features by today's standards. But doing anything in VR is more fun because of immersion, so I was still having a good time. Gameplay? 5 out of 10. And replayability is bad. I don't think that I will play this game again anytime soon. I already know what and when happens, and there is nothing new to discover because of a linear game design. Replayability? 1 out of 10. Arizona Sunshine 2 is a simple and fun game, but it's definitely not a AAA game. It is better than its predecessor AZ1, which was okay for 2016, but now even some of the older VR games will be better than Arizona Sunshine 2. It doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy playing this game, it was great, but if you're looking for better graphics, deeper gameplay, more dialogues, and more interactable environment, you should probably look for another VR game. Thanks for watching, have a nice day, and please don't judge me for making a hot dog.